Hey guys, codename Jitsu back with another video. So the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy was a hit. Okay, a lot of fans grew up with it. A lot of fans were introduced to Spider-Man through this trilogy. I grew up with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. If you want to know my thoughts on it, then you'll find a video on my channel reviewing the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. But in today's video, we're going to talk about the Amazing Spider-Man doualagy, directed by Marc Webb. I actually skipped out on the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I didn't watch those movies until 2020, which really surprised me. And that's because as I got older, I stopped keeping up with Spider-Man stuff. And that's not because I stopped loving the character, no. It's just that I started having interest in other stuff, such as Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Ninjago. But it's until 2018 when I heard about Spider-Man Homecoming, and the movie came out in 2017, but I heard about it until 2018. I watched the trailer, I watched some movie clips, and it just made me interested in Spider-Man again, because I loved how Homecoming looked. Then I watched Homecoming in 2018, it blew me away. Then I found out that this version of Spider-Man is actually part of a cinematic universe, and I found out that he actually made his first appearance in Captain America Civil War, and that he will show up in Avengers Infinity War. And then I was like, I have to start watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's because I skipped out on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So as soon as I got interest in Spider-Man again, it made me want to watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So yeah, long story, right? So in this video, I'm only going to talk about the Amazing Spider-Man, and in the next video, I'll talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So the Amazing Spider-Man, in my opinion, is a great movie, okay? It's amazing. And it's very underrated. The movie talks about something that wasn't really tackled in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, and that is Peter's parents, and why they left him at Uncle Ben and Aunt May's house. So it was very refreshing to see the story unfold, and this movie is another origin movie telling us how Peter became Spider-Man. So yeah, I really love this version of Uncle Ben. I actually think he's better than Uncle Ben from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, and that's because he actually had more screen time. Okay, we get to see his relation with Peter, his relation with Aunt May, which was great. Peter really wants to find answers about his parents, but Uncle Ben and Aunt May keep changing the subject. But then Ben told him about Kurt Connors and that he was Richard Parker's friend. So I just loved Peter's journey of wanting to find some answers. It was just very intriguing. He went to Oscorp, he impressed Dr. Connors. He got bit by a radioactive spider. So yeah, Gwen Stacy is my favorite love interest from the Spider-Man movies. I like her more than MJ from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, and I like her more than MJ from the MCU Spider-Man trilogy. She's very useful, because not only she's Peter's girlfriend, but you can also say she's Peter's only friend. She assists him. Their chemistry is just great. They are just made for each other. He told her his secret identity early on the movie, which is great. MJ found out that Peter is Spider-Man until the end of Spider-Man 2. So to have Gwen knowing his identity early on the movie was refreshing. That way we could see them assist each other, care for each other early on the movie, which is great. Also, Flash from this movie is my favorite version of Flash done in live action. He starts as Peter's bully, then he gets bullied by Peter, then he goes to see how he's doing after the death of Uncle Ben, and he said to him that he's sorry, and they became friends at the end of the movie. So yeah, he didn't have a lot of screen time, but so much has happened between him and Peter, which is great. I'm actually very disappointed that they deleted the scene of him talking with Peter after they graduated in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. He gave him a hug, so it sucks that they removed that scene. Kurt Connors is a good villain. He's not great, but he's good. I liked his motivation of wanting to create a world without weakness, but he went way too far with it. I really loved Peter's suit in this movie. A lot of people didn't like it, but I just loved how it's very different. It very much fits the tone of the movie. The movie is trying to be dark and serious, and most of the scenes take place at night, and the suit just works with all of that, okay? Peter actually looks like a vigilante. He looks like an outlaw wearing that suit, because when he first wore that suit, he didn't wear it to fight crime and protect innocent people. No, he wore it to find Uncle Ben's killer. That's why the suit doesn't really look like the Spider-Man suit that we all know and love. I mean, the whole police wanted to stop him and arrest him, but as soon as he got accepted by people, then he changed his suit in the second movie to look like a hero, okay, that we all know and love, with the classic Spider-Man look. He just looks like a hero that inspires good and not a vigilante that wants revenge and being chased by the police. So yeah, because in The Amazing Spider-Man, Peter became Spider-Man until the bridge scene where he saved that kid, which is great. I do have a problem with the movie, so we all know that Peter became Spider-Man because of the death of Uncle Ben, because he found out that the criminal that he let escaped was the one who shot his uncle. So he feels regret for not stopping that criminal when he had the chance to, like what we saw in the 2002 Spider-Man movie. In the comics and in shows like The Spectacular Spider-Man, they all told us that Peter became Spider-Man because of what happened to Uncle Ben. But this Peter didn't become Spider-Man because of Uncle Ben, which is disappointing. Because when he didn't act to stop that thief and his uncle got shot, he didn't learn from his mistake. No, he wanted to avenge his uncle. He wasn't using his powers for the greater good. He was using them to catch that thief so that he could have his revenge. So they really messed it up because Peter didn't become Spider-Man because of Uncle Ben, but he became Spider-Man because of Captain Stacy, Gwen's father. Like when he was invited to eat dinner at Gwen's house, he had a talk with George Stacy, and George Stacy told him that Spider-Man isn't protecting innocent people. He's not stopping criminals because it's the right thing, but he's doing it for revenge, which gave Peter a reality check. Like after that conversation, he became Spider-Man. He used his powers not for himself, but for the people, like we saw during the bridge scene where he saved that kid. So yeah, this version of Peter became Spider-Man because of Captain Stacy, not because of Uncle Ben, which sucks. Like, it didn't ruin the movie for me, but it still bothered me, okay? Like, they messed up the core of Spider-Man. Like, they changed his iconic origin story, which bothered me. But yeah, the movie is still great. The fight scene in high school was great. It was actually the only fight scene that took place at daytime. So it was just a great fight scene. The death of Captain Stacy was very emotional, and Peter had to promise him to stay away from Gwen. Man, it was just too much for Peter to handle. Not only he fought a giant lizard, saw Captain Stacy die, but he also have to stay away from Gwen. So Peter tells Gwen they can't be together. But you know what? Never mind, he broke his promise, which I didn't like. I wish the movie ended with Peter and Gwen breaking up. It would have been an impactful moment. But no, he broke that promise, and what sucks is that they had to redo it in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, with Peter breaking up with Gwen for the second time for the same reason. Why did they have to do it twice? So yeah, just never made sense to me. The final swing is just amazing, no pun intended. Like, the movie just ended with a bang, okay? There's a post-credit scene that made me hyped for the second movie, with the mysterious man talking to Kurt Connors about Peter's father. So yeah, it was very exciting. So The Amazing Spider-Man lived up to its name. It's an amazing movie. I really loved it. It's not perfect, okay? It has its flaws, but those flaws that I had with the movie didn't ruin the whole movie for me. Yes, they bothered me, but they didn't make me think that the movie is mediocre or even bad, because the good stuff outweighs the bad stuff. So yeah, I love The Amazing Spider-Man. It's great. It's amazing. It's an amazing movie. So what do you guys think of The Amazing Spider-Man? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Just leave your thoughts down in the comments. So if you guys like this video, then give it a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you all in the next video.